Hey everyone, today's video is all about the forecasting process for next school year 2021-2022. And there's really three main parts I want to go over. Some of those parts you've already been introduced to and others you have not. But this whole process has to be wrapped up and forms need to be submitted by April 14th, so it's very timely. So I'm going to jump right in. Okay, the first step of forecasting for students and families is figuring out how many credits am I going to have at the end of this year and how many credits am I going to need toward graduation. So you can look at your transcript for that, or a quick way of looking at that is going into your student view account, which is where you see your grades and your attendance, and clicking on the course history tab. So I have an example here of a current junior here at Springfield High School who will be a senior next year. When you click on course history, right away you see graduation status, class of 2022 in this case, and you'll see a bar graph here. And the subject areas are all subject areas you'll see on the transcript that students need to complete credits in. Now, a quick way of seeing a table would be to toggle on this detail. A table appears below the bar graph, which is also helpful, and this looks like the table on your transcript. Now, this is really helpful when you're about to forecast because you see the required credits that all students have to graduate, what you have completed in each of these areas, what you have in progress, which you're taking now and scheduled for fourth quarter, and what you'll need next school year and the school years beyond that. In this case, this student's going to be a senior, so they'll only need 4 credits starting next year as long as they pass everything this year. So the 4 credits will be in language arts, other subject or elective, science, and social science. So when this person goes to forecast what they want, they know they've got to pick some English classes, some electives, a science class, and some social science classes. And that's it. Now, it's going to be different for everybody, but this gives you a good indication of what you're going to need in what credit areas so that you can look at the course catalog, which is next, or the curriculum guide, and narrow down those subject areas. So go check out the Student View Course History tab. All right, the second part of the process is something you guys have already been exposed to in advisory, and this is our course and curriculum guide for 2021-22. It's a massive online document, 55 pages of lots of information, but it's really important for students and families to take a look at before you choose your classes for next year. Now, this is broken up into 2 main parts. You've got the first 20 pages is all about things like our grading policies and our graduation requirements and College Now credit opportunities and career pathways, all really good information. The second part of the course catalog is all course descriptions broken up into department or subject areas. So language arts, math, science, all the way down to business and leadership and woods and everything we have to offer. So you can jump right to a page that you want to see, or you can scroll seemingly endlessly until you get to those course descriptions. So here's a quick example of the first subject area that comes up in language arts. You'll see English 9, English 9 honors, and keep scrolling to see all of our English classes offered at each level. But the key here is they have a course description, they have a grade level associated with the class, and they may have a prerequisite, which means a class that you need to take before you take that class. But everything is listed here, so there should be no surprises when you go forecast for the class. Now, if you have a specific question, like you're not sure which one to take, now you can reach out to your counselor or you could reach out to your teacher. But I highly recommend taking your time, scrolling through this document and writing down ideas about core classes that you think you need or want and electives that you'll want. And you need to choose up to 8 different preferences of electives, which I'll show you on the form. So start writing down elective ideas now. Okay, that brings us to the last and final piece of forecasting, which is actually filling out the Google forecasting form. So this is going to be for current 9th graders who are going to become 10th graders, current 10th graders who are going to become juniors, and current juniors who are going to become seniors. The senior class of this year is obviously not going to forecast for next year. So each of you is going to have a different forecasting form depending on your grade level. I'm going to take a look at the incoming 10th grade or class of 2024 class preference form here. This is for current 9th graders who are incoming next year as 10th graders. Now, each class is going to look similar, but they're going to have a little bit different options. Right away, you can see the first part is about student name, ID. Second part, and again, this is simply 10th grade options, are going to be your core selection choices, science, English, social studies, math, and if you have any questions. Please read each one carefully. Don't choose as quickly as I did, but please read carefully before you choose. Last is elective course preference. These are drop-down menus, and you'll have preference 1, 2, 3, all the way through 8. Now, you might say, why are we choosing 8 electives? You're not actually going to get 8 electives. You're going to try to get your number 1, or try to get your number 2 or 3, or so forth. But if we only allowed you to give us 3 or 4 options, and when we went to schedule you, we weren't able to get those 4, then we would have to pick random electives, and that actually happens quite often. So we're going to make you choose up to 8. Even if you don't want 8, you're going to have to give us your preference number 1, number 2, all the way through 8, which you would consider if we had to give it to you. Once you choose these electives, and there, as you can see, are a lot of elective choices, you're going to submit the form and you'll be done. Now, if you submit this accidentally or you'd like to submit another one, as long as you're before the deadline, you can do that. Try to submit one, please, but if it happens to be you made a mistake, that's okay if you submit another. Reach out to your counselor via email or by office hour if you have any questions. It's super important that we get this as accurate as possible so that we can get our master schedule accurate and we can get you an accurate schedule for next year. We're going to schedule as if we're going back to school in a semester system, just like before COVID. So up to 8 classes or 8 class periods, semester system instead of quarter. So that's what we know for now. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, reach out to your counselor.